Welcome everybody to the LNN, that's right, the Latin Nerds Network. My name is Jose, and this is my review for M. Night's newest film, Old. Of course, is M. Night. He's the human yo-yo. He's up, he's down, he's up, he's down, and depending on how you felt about his last film, Glass, he's either we're gonna roll your eyes when you saw this trailer and saw M. Night, the newest film, or you're gonna be intrigued when you saw his name in the trailer for this newest film. And I was looking forward to this one myself. I'm not. I was a big M. Night fan early on. Obviously, we know he gave his years just shit. But then he kind of brought himself back up, with movies like The Visit, when he partnered up with Blumhouse and Split, the pseudo sequel to, of course, Unbreakable. A lot of people liked the film. I know I did. And Glass. Look, I gave Glass a positive review. I didn't love the film, but I didn't think it was that bad. And I know it's a divisive film. So again, depending what side of the coin you land on, you were not anticipating this film. That being said, the premise is very interesting. Listen, you saw the trailers. You know what this movie's about. We have a group of people who end up vacationing some island. They ended up finding a secluded beach within the island. Of course, they find out a lot of strange shit's going on here, where they find a dead body floating in the water. They find out that they can't really escape the beach and leave the beach. They end up to a certain point. They kind of black out and end up waking up at the beach where they initially started. But besides all that, the craziest part is that it seems like the aging process has accelerated greatly here. We have, for example, this family of kids. They have two kids, one a 6-year-old and an 11-year-old, and eventually they end up being, teenagers, for the most part. Everybody's freaking out. They don't know what's going on here. So it's a great setup here because, particularly in the second act, he really explores this in a really cool way. I guess like typical M. Night's very methodical in his presentation. And that's fine, but very interesting. And there's scenes where you see the aging process and what have you. But you also have the situation where if they've cut themselves, they'll heal within a matter of seconds. If they have an ailment, those ailments are also accelerated. So something going on affecting the cell structure, of course, of the people at the beach and all that. So good setup. But unfortunately, this is a movie where it really hinges on the ending, right? We all know M. Night and his twists and what he likes to do and all that stuff. And I get it. But this one here, this is where the movie just falls off the rails. I mean, the ending was... This is a bad twist. This harkens back to the days of The Happening, The Village, A Lady in the Water, etc. I'm not saying, I don't think it's as bad as any of those films, but it's definitely more in line with that than what he had given us recently. There's going to be a lot of fans out there that said, I told you so, this is M. Night, and yeah, you were right. He's back down again. It was the yo-yo's down. The yo-yo fell off the hand. It's down the sewage, whatever. This guy, he's back to being dog shit again because this is a real disappointing. He completely J.J. Abrams this way. He got a great start, has a great idea, but didn't know how to finish it. And this is so disappointing because you really were expecting something more than what you got. And it's flat, underwhelming, some parts even laughable. I didn't like what he did here. And this movie says nothing. There's nothing to say about this film. It's kind of pointless. And it would have been cool if you're taking, and again, I don't want to spoil too much here. I'm not going to spoil anything, but this movie spoils itself just by you watching it, trust me. But it's hard to talk about without getting into specifics, but I'll keep this very general, where the ending, this reveal, whatever the case is, if they would have presented that early on the film and it kind of explored some things within that, it could have been interesting, but he doesn't choose to just kind of give it to us. In the end, it's as we're supposed to gasp and, oh my God, it's genius. And it really isn't. It's very dull, which is kind of a shame. And he does something here. It's so weird where he even teases you where, again, spoiler free here, but it's a particular scene where, people from the beach find a way to potentially escape, right? And as they're going through this process, he skips away, and eventually, at the conclusion of everything, he brings his characters back. So you're like, okay, I guess they succeeded in trying to leave and end up in this other spot. He goes back after the resolution, is done. And you're like, as underwhelmed as I was, he goes back and shows us what really happened there. And I was like, oh, here it comes. This is the scene. This is the one that's going to elevate the film. This is the twist or whatever the case is that's going to make me change the perspective on this whole film. And it's nothing. He just shows us exactly what we thought. They went there like he showed us, and it ended up here like we knew. He gave us nothing new. What was the point of cutting away from that scene, then going back in the end to show it when he offers nothing? It's such an odd choice, and the ending is an odd choice. This whole movie is an odd choice. The odd choice for me to decide to go watch this, even though it's free. I get it. I'll watch anything. I'll watch a shit movie so you guys don't have to. And it's exactly what I have here. This is a shit movie. Obviously, I'm not gonna recommend you guys go watch it. It's unfortunate. And I was rooting. I really was rooting for him. He let me down here. He's gonna let you guys down. Listen, so guys, some of you guys may like it. If you do, comment below. Let me know what you thought. Maybe I'm nuts. It's possible. It's one man's opinion here. But that being said, I can in good heart tell you guys, go check it out. You may like it. I don't think you guys are. I think this movie is gonna get destroyed in the ratings, Rotten Tomatoes, by audience score, you name it. I don't see us getting anything positive. If it does, whatever. Obviously, people are seeing a different movie than I did. All that being said, listen, there's a new channel here. We're setting up the Latin Nerds Network. We just debuted a new show, The Watch List, last week. We got a new episode in a couple of days. We pretty much are your virtual TV guide. We watch everything on streaming. We'll let you know what you should be watching, those hidden gems most people don't know about. These documentaries, I know people are allergic to it, but documentaries, a lot of good ones out there, foreign language stuff. We watch it all, me and my co-host. Join us here. Subscribe to us, like the video, support us. You want to know what's on TV, watch this particular segment, the watch list. Of course, we'll have that weekly, but other shows coming out. Of course, we have movie reviews. I'm privileged enough to see a lot of them early, and I'll bring you my thoughts about that as soon as I do. That being said, as I used to say, subscribe below and feed money to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.